a little bit ago. John, would you like to take the lead there and refresh us on that issue that we were talking about a little bit earlier?
Sure. The background to to what I want to talk about is that on the one hand, holding the de facto to account is always very worthwhile as an educational effort. But in my experience, the amount of success that we have is very, very small. I'm waiting for someday when somebody who claims that they've accessed their account isn't under a non-disclosure agreement so that they can tell me what they actually managed to get. Anyway, or that they actually managed to monetize one of these liens, or that, So what I'm getting at and what I'm thinking about ongoing is that at the same time that we're trying to hold the de facto to account and avail ourselves of the remedies that it provides, which always seems to be, trapdoors and hurdles and the next thing. Anyway, I'm saying that for a reason, not that I don't think that it's a worthwhile endeavor. We also need to be creating what it is that we actually want. And so there's two levels to that. One is from a practical point of view, what are the available things? So one of the groups that I also follow is the One Small Town that Michael Tellinger is working on, and the Common Good Payment System, and the Dynamic Governance group called Sociocracy for All, and the why can't I think of their name? The Meta-Currency Project, various other groups that are working at the same sort of foundational level to develop the ideas and the practices that we need to become sovereign. So my basic point is that if we're sitting together in the neighborhoods where we live, or even in virtual communities such as this, and we've understood that money is not something in itself. It's like, how's the best way to describe that it isn't? It's like saying that you could buy and sell hours and minutes in order to influence them, make everybody's minutes go faster or slower, or that you could buy extra days for the calendar. It's kind of similar to that idea that you have to buy and that you can buy and sell money. It isn't money if you can do that. It's a control mechanism. So once we've understood that money is an agreement, that it's a social technology, that it's something that it's a matter of law, that it is always, regardless of what it's supposedly backed by, it's always a fiat of the sovereign. It's always what the sovereign uses to create the conditions in which we live. And if we don't know who's creating the conditions in which we're living, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Then find out who's issuing the money and what they're issuing it for. And if you do that, then you discover who's sovereign. So if we're going to be sovereign, we have to learn how to issue the money. And then the question arises, how do you go about that? How do you, we need to give the jural assemblies that we're working on building. We have a little one in Massachusetts. And our little jural assemblies, there's, a reasonably substantial one in Pennsylvania and Michigan, and there's one out in Oregon, and there are quite a few in the whole Anna Van Rights effort. But each one of those, if it were to address the issue, what is money? Right? Money is something that we agree to use in order to facilitate the exchange of the goods and services that are actually valuable. It's no different than having a clock or a watch in order to take advantage of time. It's no different than having a ruler to take advantage of inches, or an odometer to take advantage of miles. So the unit is available. There's a unit. You know, everybody knows what an inch is. Everybody knows what an hour is. Everybody in the whole world knows what a dollar's worth. So there's no reason not to use the dollar as the unit of value and not use the dollar as a means of exchange. We create, simply on the basis of an agreement among us, to issue our own currency. In the USA Republic, we are in the process of deciding how to issue the Republic. In common good, we issue common good. There are various other currencies which one can issue. And if we do that, if we both create the kind of governance that Charles has outlined so well, with the qualified elector and the jural assembly and the tens and the hundreds and the thousands and the 100,000s, etc., the organic hierarchies. This is a very interesting paper for anybody who's looking at their screen, and it's, yeah. Then we are and we agree that issuing the money is the primary tool that the sovereign uses. Then we are at the same time that we're understanding how we've been duped. We're creating what it is that we actually want. And if we're in the process of creating what we actually want, then we're asking each other the question, who are you? Right? What inspires you? What do you need in order to be able to be all that you are capable of being? You know, what is your relationship to the community? What would you like to do for your fellow men? What would you like to do to make the better world? And if we have that orientation, and we know that we can issue the money to fund everything and anything that we agree would be good, because the money isn't valuable, it's the thing that we're doing. It's what we apply, our spirit, our energy, our labor, our ability to cooperate with each other. It's whatever we do like that that's the thing that's actually valuable. And the money only ever represents that value. If I describe to you what it is that I would like to do that would make our community better, and I tell you how much it costs, and you issue that money so that I can do it, or so that the group of us who want to do it can do it, or the county can do it, or the state can do it, or the whole nation can do it, then the power of the money is overcome, because there can't be a shortage of money. Money cannot be scarce. The only thing that can be scarce is good ideas and people willing to implement them. And guess what? There's no shortage of good ideas and people with the energy to implement them. So that's what I'm working on. And I'm involved with the republics instead of, maybe one of these other things, because it's so important to understand the issue of sovereignty. And it's only the republics, it's only the common law people, it's only the people involved in these efforts that understand that. It's up to us. It's our common sense of justice that will allow us to create paradise on earth, or the New Jerusalem, whatever you want to call it. I yield.
Thank you, John. I love your positive attitude. you're an upbeat kind of guy. You're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and you're sharing that with everybody that's